Alrighty guys, this is snugsonblitz and I'm back with another video for you today. Today we're looking at the top 5 hardest tier 8 tanks to play. And there are quite a few to choose from. But I've narrowed it down, and again, remember, when I say hardest, I say that people will struggle to be effective in these tanks. And that doesn't mean just winning, but contributing to your team. That means, of course, damage, but also spotting, blocking shots, etc. So, what are the 5 that I've come up with? Well, you just have to wait and see. We are going to be driving this tank in today's gameplay, the Lorraine. Basically, I get a free reign of the map to do whatever I want. If you have that opportunity, never pass it up. I'm just farming from distance, but it's working. So, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Anyway, let's get to our game, and as you can see, I am lower tier, but that's no big deal because pretty much everyone's going to go heavy side, and I can do whatever I want, which is never good in any game. If you allow one tank to just take pot shots for free, it's probably not going to end well for you because you've got the advantage. You know where they are, they don't know where you are. You're like a ninja. Anyway, let's get to my number 5 tank on this list. Don't have that much time, so I'm just going to rip right through them. I did debate about this. You have the T-34-3, the STG, and the Bulldog all sitting down there. But I actually went with the German Bulldog. I can't even remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about probably, hopefully. Let me know in the comments below if you remember the name. I'm too lazy to go and check it right now. Anyway, the reason why this tank is tough to play is there's just so many derp guns, big guns that can just rip right through it. It's got no armor. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get wrecked. A long time ago, there weren't that many big guns in the game, OP tanks in the game. You could really do well. Nowadays, it's very tough. It's a fun tank to play, don't get me wrong. But one shot can end your game. That's why it's my number 5. And it's down at the bottom in win rate percentage, if I'm not mistaken, way at the bottom. Number 4, I'm giving it to the FCM 50 ton. This is a premium tank just like the Bulldog, which makes me very sad that people actually paid money or gold for. And I bought this when it first came out for cash. Do I regret it? Kind of. Do I like the tank? Yes, I do. Is it a tough tank to play? Absolutely. Do I think most people will do well in it? No, I don't. Most people can absolutely shred this tank. So if you don't know what you're doing, do not get this tank. But can be a lot of fun, and it will make you a better tanker. You can ram the heck out of lightning armor tanks, I'm telling you. It is crazy fun in that sense. But there are some tanks that are worse on this list, so let's get to my number 3, which is the Indian. This is very much like an FCM 50 ton. It doesn't really have the alpha to intimidate, so you can easily get pushed on. It's got a good turret, decent mobility, but it feels like a worse Pershing. I don't know why I do much better in the Pershing and not so great in the Indian, but it is what it is. I don't often see them do very well in the battlefield like the FCM 50 ton. But it's not the toughest tank to play because there are tougher tanks. There are 2 tougher tanks. At number 2, we have the SU-101, which actually has great pen and can be played like an assault tank. However, its lack of gun depression causes it massive problems. You go over a teeny tiny bump and you shoot straight into the sky. So be very careful about the terrain that you're on. I recommend you play this as a sniper to begin and push in later on, but even then you'll probably make a lot of mistakes and get wrecked. So be warned, it's a tough tank to play. And lastly, in first place, I have got to give it to the frickin' STA. Now this tank used not to be that bad, but today it's against so many premium tanks that just outclass it. The Chimera, the WZ-122, I can't even think of the other tanks, but there's just so many of them that just rip it apart. The STA has a worse turret than the Indian, a worse turret than the Pershing, and yeah, it just does not intimidate anybody. You're gonna get wrecked if you push up too far, so you gotta stay quite a bit of ways from your enemies. You know, the damage from distance rule that everyone talks about. You might do okay with it in that situation. The gun is solid, but unfortunately it doesn't prevent teams from pushing on you. I love seeing them on the enemy team, any one of these tanks, because it means the chances of them winning go way down. Now, don't get me wrong. Pros know what they're doing. That's completely different. Generally speaking, these are right at the bottom of the tally, the results screen, and for good reason, because they are tough tanks to play. So if I were you, I would give these guys a miss. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Tomorrow I'll be doing my Tier 9 hardest tanks. I hope to see you then. Snugs on Blitz, out.